All right, happy Wednesday, everybody. At least we think it's Wednesday. The week has been kind of weird, wild, and woolly, but we're glad you're with us wherever you may call home tonight. A lot of basketball, conference tournament, and otherwise to look at. A little spring football, and a little bit of Texas country music going to the Grand Ole Opry. That's right, I've seen Grand Ole Opry, and I met Johnny Cash. And if that ain't country, all right, you guys know what to do, the early arrivals. And we hope we've got our Twitter family back with us. Elon Musk has had a rough couple of days with the Twitter app and getting the feeds right and everything else. So hopefully you guys are back with us tonight. Whether you're there, whether you're on our YouTube channel, and we hope everybody subscribes to YouTube channel. Right now, it's Raiderland. It's free, don't cost nothing. Or Twitter Live, our great, our Facebook Live group. Huge audience there. All of you commenting tonight, thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. That's right. It is March Madness time. They are your headquarters for everything you need. If you're going to have a party and watch tomorrow night at the house or this weekend or whatever during March Madness, you get all of your party supplies there at United Supermarkets and Market Street. Great supporters of Texas Tech. Only one grocery store got its name on Tech stuff. Other one around town got its name on stuff downstate. That's what I'm saying. Downstate. All right, so get in tonight. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Are you going to give us thumbs up and everything else? Thanks to that. We will ask you tonight, how much should Texas Tech care about the Big 12 tournament? How much do you care about the Big 12 tournament? Same thing goes for spring football. I mean, we got to have it, but is it time to move towards a more NFL model in college football? And then Robert Earl Keen at the Grand Ole Opry tonight. I'm glad the retirement didn't take. Knew it wouldn't, Robert Earl. And he's performing there, I believe, for the first time. So here's to the Front Porch Boys. Let's celebrate some REK tonight, maybe some of your favorite songs. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, where you start your day. We give you your question of the day and all the good stuff there at TheRaiderland.com. We're brought to you in part tonight by The Reserve, a culinary tavern in Lubbock, 103rd and Quaker in Southwest Lubbock or South Lubbock, or whatever we call it right now. Hey, great game, great place to go watch the games. The atmosphere is awesome. The food is incredible. Drinks are good. And you can actually hear, and they show all the Tech games. It's not a sports bar, all right? It's not a sports bar. But they show all the Tech games. You can actually hear the announcers, and you can hear the people at your table talk and, not just have a head-splitting, headache and everything else. It's good stuff there. When you go there this weekend, tell them we said hi from Raiderland. Also by Red River Brewing Company in Red River, New Mexico, right next to Lifts West. They have not just beer and really good beer, but spirits as well. And you can look for them around town. We've got the link on the website from vodkas to tequilas and more. Red River Brewing Company making it happen. Michael Calhoun, they're created just a masterpiece in Red River. It looks like it's been there forever. And we're so glad that they are a part of what we do here in Raiderland. And I know spring break is kind of coming up. It's a little bit late maybe to get in at Lifts West, but hey, start making your summer plans to be in Red River with some of our great partners up there. All right, so how much should Texas Tech care about the Big 12 tournament? That depends, I guess, on where you think they are on the seed line. I think they're a 3. I know there are a lot of folks that think they're a 2. I visited with one of them, Dave Amon, Brackenville.wordpress.com on Monday. He has them on the 2 line, still has them on the 2 line, I believe, as of today. HoopsHD.com on the 3 line. And depending on who you're looking at and where you're looking, how close are you to the 2 lines? So let's say you're on the 3 line. The teams you're looking around, Iowa State, obviously, you lost to them, but you finished ahead of them in the Big 12. A&M, St. John's on the 2, Tennessee. Somebody's got to back up, right? Alabama ain't going nowhere on the 2. Neither is Michigan State. Tennessee and St. John's are vulnerable. A&M, you're not going to move past them. They've got the head-to-head. That's not going to happen, no matter what. I just don't see the 2 line as a possibility, plus Texas Tech's bad strength of schedule in non-conference play. But let's just say they could get there. How hard should they go in the Big 12 tournament starting tomorrow against either Kansas State or Baylor. And how are we doing in that one tonight? Kansas State and Baylor in action in Kansas City on the horrific court. It's 30-22 Baylor, stretching it out now with 4:55 to go in the first half. Good Lord, could I have any more things pop up on my screen at one time? You know, fairly even scoring right now for the Bears. Jerome Tang and Kansas State trying to hang in there, but Baylor shooting 50% and 44% long range. Come on, give me some numbers. That's just horrible. All right. So what do you got tonight? How hard do you want Texas Tech to go? How much do you even care about the Big 12 tournament? You tell me it's a tournament that Texas Tech has not had tremendous success in over the years for different reasons at different times. All right, let's get it going. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. Alan going to get in first. Conference Championship Week going into March Madness. My favorite 4 weeks of sport as far as Tech is concerned. Just win a game and stay healthy. I agree, and that's why we were saying yesterday my motto would be one and done. Win one, be done. Don't worry about Friday. Don't worry about Saturday. You know, beat Baylor or Kansas State, whoever wins this game, call it good, and that's, you know, let's go play in the NCAA tournament. Get your questions, comments in. Thanks to Market Street United Supermarkets. Your thoughts, your questions. Just we're not talking about it doesn't mean we don't care about it. We have to focus in on the headline, on the slug line. So, hey, maybe you got a different direction you want to go on some stuff. That's fine. That's cool. Do what you want to do. Fake Natalie Maines could be the real Natalie Maines. Nobody knows. Impossible to know. In America in 2025, how do we know it's not Natalie Maines? How do we know this person right here didn't work at Orlando's as a waitress? Dear Hyatt, how are you? I'm good. Trying to get a new vehicle, trying to get a new truck. Yeah. Glad you're fine. Do you think the Big 12 tournament court is one of the best deals we've ever had or one of the worst deals we've ever had? Thank you for the Ryan Hyatt, the Raiderland broadcast that you give us. You are more than welcome. It's an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. Is everything that's wrong with America. It's horrible. It's awful. There's like, 1,500 little Big 12 logos on it. People, you are entitled to compensation. If watching Big 12 tournament games gives you a seizure or an epileptic fit, there should be an 800 number from the Sokolov law firm or whoever at the bottom of the screen saying, are you watching the Big 12 tournament? Are your eyes twitching? Do you hate life right now? Give us a basketball court. That's all. Just a basketball court. Hideous. Why do we got to do that? We don't got to do that. The only court that can look crazy is the Pittsburgh Pisces court. Unless Moses Guthrie is playing for you, you don't get that kind of court. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jeff, he's on our YouTube channel. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. We're getting closer and closer every day to 500. You guys can make it happen. You on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. You on Facebook Live. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland can make it happen. Sign up, subscribe. If the Red Raiders are playing, I care. And if they're playing, I want them to win it all. At what cost and why? Why does the Big 12 tournament matter? It serves no purpose. It makes money for the Big 12. That's it. It serves zero purpose. And the committee over the last 10 years has moved farther and farther away from valuing anything that the top teams do at the tournament. So why do we care about that? You probably think that teams should go win the Big 12 baseball tournament as well. Alan says on YouTube, again, who I'm sure is liking it and sharing it, Colorado has the opportunity to do the funniest thing tomorrow against Houston and knock them off the one line. They won't. It won't happen. Colorado winning a couple of games at the Big 12 tournament already. Earlier today, Colorado beating West Virginia 67-60. Bob Huggins is going to be mad. What's that? He doesn't coach there anymore? Well, doesn't matter. And then Iowa State handled Cincinnati, no problem, 76-56. 32-24, 2:48 left in the first. Baylor over Kansas State. We assume the teacher will teach the pupil in this one again tonight. All right? Assume that. The talking box, Craig, is indeed on. Glad you're there. The court looks like they're playing on a Louis Vuitton handbag. I saw that on social media earlier this week. I don't know, and I had to look up Louis Vuitton. Anyway, I had to look it up, and it's a purse. Yeah, it's a handbag. I don't know nothing about those. It's really bad. Jeff says, as bad as the Big 12 court is, it's not as bad as TCU's home court. I beg to differ. I think it's actually worse. And that's saying the first time that I called a game at the Schollmeyer Center after they opened it, I had a headache for 2 days. That crap hole of an arena. I can't believe they spent money redoing Daniel Meyer Coliseum, those who never went to TCU's old court, it was the Coliseum. It was built by the same company. The Coliseum in Lubbock, Daniel Meyer Coliseum in Fort Worth, and Wichita State's Roundhouse, all built by the same company. You could tell when you went in there. The water fountains on the court area were the same place. Anyhow, no, I think this is as bad or worse as the TCU Frog Felt Arena. Randy Wade, can you come help me, Randy Wade? By the way, we're celebrating Robert Earl Keen playing the Grand Ole Opry tonight. Anybody got any Front Porch Boy favorite songs? Bluegrass Widow, right? All right. The Big 12 tournament exists for people to eat barbecue that is watered down with a ton of sauce. They use sauce like gravy. The meat doesn't speak for itself. Talking about Kansas City barbecue, which on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being up here and 1 being down here, left me cold and uninvolved, emotionless. The only place I've been to in Kansas City over the years that had remotely quality barbecue, the original Arthur Bryant's down by the Negro League Baseball Museum. That's it. Don Williams is a fan, I think, of Jack Stack or something like that. I don't know. It's really bad. The only thing worse than their barbecue, the steaks. Hereford House. Went to the Hereford House early on. Can't wait. Heard about the Hereford House. You go in. Steakhouse. They got a painting of a Hereford bull. Gonna be great. Golly. Hideous. Better steaks at Furr's Cafeteria. Little chopped beef steak with mushroom. You get in thanks to United Supermarkets, where you can buy quality meat, not like apparently what they cook up there in Kansas City, but I mean like really good, well-marbled meat. CAB, Certified Angus Beef, is what we're talking about on the cap stuff. Check it out. You have to play the second game. Houston won't want to play any more than Tech. So, yeah, Houston wins, you win. You get to the finals and see what happens. Somebody's got to win if you make it there, but you don't expend any energy. You don't play anybody that needs rest. You don't care. Favorite REK song, 5 Pound Bass. Beautiful. Great song. Watch my lure as it's flying through the air. Front Porch Song or Bluegrass Widow. Better song. I'm trying to find a way to stream or otherwise see Robert Earl Keen on the Grand Ole Opry. There's got to be a reference to the Front Porch Boys, the world's fastest playing bluegrass band that is talked about in the song Bluegrass Widow, which is a hideous song. JC, never heard of the RK guy. Lubbock local? Not at all. College Station. He's an Aggie. Whoop. Don't hold it against him, though. He's kind of famous. If you know anything about Texas country music, Texas music over the years, you might know something. Meanwhile, back in Kansas City at the barbecue restaurant, Arthur Bryant's does great brisket burn-ins, like KC-style ribs, too. Okay, so I've had Kansas City-style ribs. I've had Memphis ribs. I've had Alabama, Birmingham, Dreamland ribs. Rendezvous in Memphis, Tennessee. Ribs, average. Needed sauce. Pissed them off. Thought we were going to get into a fist fight. They're dry rub. Kansas City does a little bit more of the wet rib. And then Dreamland was wet down there in Birmingham. And it was just, it had no taste whatsoever. The meat was chewy. I was like, why are we even talking about this stuff? You know, what are we doing here? There's just, give me some French fries. Joseph getting in from Facebook. By the way, everybody watching tonight, get on our YouTube channel, like it, grow it over 500 subscribers. Twitter, I hope you guys are out there. My Twitter people, if you're out there, I know that app has had a horrible week. They got hacked. Even though it's functioning and you can tweet, a lot of the back end stuff, like how I encoded into, this is a little inside baseball stuff, but how we encoded into this broadcast is not syncing up in real time. A lot of issues. Even, trying just to link to it on the website on our morning hot links has been just a disaster this week. So there you go. Hey, Michelle, glad you're watching, making you hungry. That's what we need. Domino's Pizza, rib meat, shredded rib meat pizza. I'll be the test focus group. We can make this happen. Get me in touch with the people at the kitchen. We can do this. Jeff is on YouTube. Thoughts on the Mahomes baseball uniforms, just as bad as the others he's designed for us. Yeah, they're pretty dreck. They're not very good. The tech across the front reminds me a little bit of an old style late 80s uniform that Tech had based off the Minnesota Twins 80s uniform that I think Russell Athletics put together. So it was a pinstripe. It was white pinstripe black with Tech, like what Twins looks like. It kind of reminds me of that, but the font with the Adidas deal is just wrong. It's just not, Hey, and come on, Patrick, your ERA in baseball almost as big as your salary. All right, just don't do anymore. It's fine. We love you, Patrick. You don't have to design anything. Mike, I love the Bluegrass Widow song. They played real fast. Yeah. They finished second at the International Bluegrass Festival. The Front Porch Boys finished second. The other two bands finished first and third, respectively. Sadly, in the cool, dark morning light, they broke up. Sadly, because as the other members told Robert Earl Keen, we're taking bluegrass where it's never been before, and we're not taking you with us. Sadly, the Front Porch Boys broke up 2 days later when they realized that Robert Earl Keen owned the PA system. To which we said tonight, when you leave the Opry, take the PA with you. Alan, I don't trust barbecue west of Kansas City. Not sure I trust barbecue east of Kansas City. Certainly not north of Kansas City. Barbecue is a ephemeral thing. It's like Rich O'Toole and tacos, man. Randy Wade. You just got to say both names. Randy Wade. Be honest, Randy. How many people say both of your names? Randy Wade. I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Wade is like a first and middle name and not your last name. I went to Nashville for a few weeks. Went to Nashville a few weeks ago for my birthday. The Opry is out in the suburbs. Yes, it is. Not the old Ryman Theater. Lots of history at the Ryman. We saw Morgan Wade. Morgan Wade at the Ryman. She was great. Morgan Wade? Anyway, Morgan Wade? I've never been to the Opry. And I've never met Johnny Cash. And if that ain't country. Alan, he talking about Mahomes, that's one of the highest ERAs you can get. Yeah, the one appearance went about as good as the one appearance that Josh Young had on the mound, I believe on a Friday night against Baylor. I think it was his freshman year in Big 12 play, and it turned out badly. And there's this great story about some like walk-on scrub who faced Mahomes, who's now famous or something. I can't remember the deal, but yeah. I get it. We love it. I love the Adidas uniforms that are straight up uniforms. They're great for Tech, but some of the one-offs, the basketball Mahomes deal, the Gladiator uniform was crap. This baseball uniform, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. All right, it's not like just absolute drag, but we don't have to do this, right? We don't have to do this. You've got great color. Everybody needs to take a cue from Texas Tech softball and their uniforms and their uniform combinations. And even before Adidas came in, Texas Tech softball had some of the best uniforms that you could want at Texas Tech. Don't know what it is, but the combinations, the way they put them together, really good. More combinations than the 1978 Pittsburgh Pirates with the black, gold, yellow, white, and everything in between. Mix and match, stovepipe hats. You know what I'm talking about if you're of a certain age. We are family. So what do you, if Texas Tech loses tomorrow, let's say Texas Tech loses tomorrow to Baylor. We have time yet? We're at the half, 41-24. Baylor's going to roll. So Baylor tomorrow. Tech loses to Baylor. Do you care? I don't. Now, mainly I don't care because I don't think it's going to cost you anything in the NCAA tournament. I think you're going to be a 3 seed no matter what. I mean, short of winning the Big 12 tournament and some people backing up, it's not just what you do, it's what others around you do. And I don't know that the teams around you on that, unless you really think you're on the 2 line right now, then the only way I think to ensure that would be to be playing Saturday, win a couple of guys. To me, it's not worth it. This is a team that had to do load management down the stretch, that there were games you couldn't start guys. Then all of a sudden, why do we care about the Big 12 tournament? If you're one of those who does, that's fine. Articulate why. Somebody earlier said, hey, Tech's playing, I want them to win. I get that. You want them to win. But what's it worth? Basketball coaches are catching up to what baseball coaches learned years ago when it comes to postseason tournaments. What's the point? If you are of a certain, level in the tournament, as far as you're in, the seed's not going to matter that much. And there's no difference between a 2 seed and a 3 seed, really, for that matter. I would actually much rather make sure Texas Tech ends up either in Wichita or Denver, where you can have some energy in the building. You can have fans get there. I'd much rather Tech have that as a 3 seed, and I don't think they can fall to a 4 seed, so I'm not worried about it, than doing anything. And, hey, you got a 2 seed, but, now you're going, let me look at a 2 seed where you could end up. Let's say you go to the East region, and you're the 2 in Cleveland, all right? You go run down Tennessee, and you get the 2 in Cleveland. Or well, you're not going to get Alabama out at Lexington. That's not going to happen. That's why I'm saying there's not a lot of wiggle room right now on the 2 line. But I would much rather be in the West as a 3. You can get the 2 in Denver, but Wichita, A&M's the 3 in Wichita right now on Dave Amon's bracketeville.wordpress.com. He's got them at 3 in Denver. In Wichita, I would flip it. I'd have Tech as the 3 in Wichita. I'd have Denver getting Texas A&M. Randy with a good question here. Do you care more about the Big 12 tournament or the Liberty Bowl we played in? The Big 12 tournament from this standpoint, go play well. Use it as a springboard. Don't get anybody hurt or anything. These meaningless bowl games exist only in their one moment. There is nothing else after it. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Obvious. You can get injuries. There are different agendas on players coming and going. That the Liberty Bowl, the bowl games, unless you're in the playoff, just nobody cares. Watched because Tech was playing. Quite frankly, the only bowl game I think I watched, other than passively that it happened to be on. But the bowl games are Big 12 tournament here, bowl game way down here. Doesn't matter. Nothing about it matters. We pose the question: should we do the same for spring football and just not really care about it? Yeah, I think the colleges need to do exactly what the NFL does now and move away from a block to a series of OTAs. That in February you've got 5 days, in March you've got 5 days, in August you've got or April and in May and whatever when they're around you have these OTA stands for organized team activities. We don't need to be going in pads. We don't need to be doing anything. We learn. We work on technique. We find out a few things, and then we come back and go back earlier in August, in July, and have a real like NFL style training camp and play an exhibition game before the season. And that's where you play the crap, non-power conference teams and get rid of those games. And you can have a scrimmage against Stephen F. or a scrimmage against ACU or Tarleton or anything like that. But in football, I would much rather be moving towards an OTA style where it's running and we're doing it every month. We don't need to be playing in pads. These guys don't need to be getting in shape. And for the most part, still, the younger guys, they forget half as much as they remember from, February, March until they roll back in. So let's just do a rolling series of OTAs, call it good. That the idea of spring football is archaic. The idea of spring football makes no sense anymore in the current landscape of college football, which is NFL, professional football, but the guys have to go to class for some reason. And we'll get past that here in the next few years, and we won't have to go to class. Actually, a lot of them don't go to class. They take everything online. Shh, don't tell anybody. Bluegrass Widow versus the Front Porch song. Robert Earl Keen. How many of y'all watching right now saw Robert Earl Keen in concert? How many of you saw him? How many different times, different places, favorite shows? You can get on that. Seemed like he played KA Phi Delta Calf Fry about 18 years in a row. I know that's probably not true, but it kind of seemed to feel like that. And then random in sundry other places, like the old was it Library, Lonesome Dove. It had different places there off I-27 and 19th, but on the south side, going back that way. I think that's where it was. Don't know what it's called anymore. Had the upstairs area, kind of an upstairs, not balcony, but an upstairs area where you kind of hang out and look over the stage and go, well, that's cool. There's Robert Earl Keen. So if you saw him, how many times did you see him? Basketball on your mind. We're brought to you by The Reserve, a culinary tavern in Lubbock, Texas, USA. If you love the old Nick's Sports Bar and Grill, hey, it's the same ownership, great people there. The food is even better, dare I say. The menu more eclectic and fun, and they have a great brunch Saturday and Sunday. So if you're going to watch some, maybe Tech's still playing Saturday, go out there, have brunch, and watch the game out there at the Reserve. And all of our comments brought to you by Market Street United Supermarkets, great supporters of Texas Tech. We ask you to do a couple of things every day. Support all of our wonderful sponsors. Go on their Facebook pages and different things and tell them thanks for being out there. Don't cost nothing to do that. Goes a whole long way. And then you can share this on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And we're still driving the YouTube numbers. We're up a couple this week. Every subscriber we get counts. It matters. It's really good. It's excellent, actually. And when we hit 500, my goodness, it's just going to grow and be bigger than you could ever imagine. We're still at halftime, 41-24. Meanwhile, back around the country, let's go back to that. In action, anything interesting right now? Out of the Big Ten, Ohio State and Iowa, 51 seconds to go, and it's a 72-68 Iowa lead. Obviously, we're not getting to watch this. The DePaul and the Georgetown in the Big East, 53-51 DePaul, 11:41 to go. We're cruising towards an over there, I would imagine. UTEP and Liberty, 9:20 to go, and it's Liberty, the number one seed out of CUSA, 66-43. In the ACC, I saw this today, and I knew it was coming. I'm glad in the Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament. The legendary ACC tournament used to be in Greensboro. Cal and Stanford. 38-32, 7-seed Stanford over 15 Cal. 38-32 Stanford. ACC. SEC, Mississippi State beating LSU 44-24, Hail State. And then let's see, at halftime, UNLV over Air Force in the Mountain West, 25. Pardon me, Air Force over UNLV, 25-21. And then the Patriot League, Navy and American, 37-28 American. The ACC. Any interesting finals? Nothing really. You know? Is it true Cody just paid to get the Alamo Dome changed to the Double Eagle Dome for a Tech Final Four? I doubt it, but money well spent if you do. That'd be funny. That'd be cool if they did. Dude, I don't. How liquid is he right now? Maybe he might not have two nickels to rub together. You know, he might be in a cost preservation mode right now. Don't know. All right, tomorrow website, Thursday, over underrated right, rated right. Check it out. We're going to post this up on the website, theraiderland.com, here in just a little bit. It has been a little bit of a wonky week for a lot of different reasons. I apologize for no morning column today. We will rectify that tomorrow. So you guys got to help pick up the slack. That means everybody's got to share this to help make up for no morning column today. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Hey, and the best thing about that right there, Steven's on Twitter X, which means maybe they've got us back streaming on Twitter Live, which I hope is the case. I ain't blaming Elon. They got hacked. They got attacked. I understand it. We've had it on our own sites and servers, and it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, we missed everybody on Twitter yesterday, and the way the week has gone. So that's what I like seeing there, Steven, getting in on Twitter. We will step aside for just a little bit. Like I said, give us a few minutes. We'll post it up. We'll have it out there for you. Everybody, you can find me on Twitter tonight at Ryan Hyatt Media. We'll be paying attention to Baylor and Kansas State and see who Tech gets tomorrow. And then we're off and running on a big Thursday. You guys be well, have fun, stay out of trouble. We'll see you always on the website at theraiderland.com.